Hello, everyone. Dr. Scott Mills here. Today, I want to share a way that you can release all that past relationship pain that gets in the way of having the experience of life you want. And while this is particularly appropriate for love, you might notice that the more grudges and resentments you hold, the harder it is to actually receive the good stuff. All that pain just gets in the way. So, I'll share a couple ideas with you and then a powerful exercise that I know is going to help you release some of that pain right now. So first, a couple things to know about relationships and kind of how that energy works. First, if we hold that we're energetic beings, and we're kind of sticky ones at that, we understand that everyone we connect our hearts to, if only for a moment, forms an energetic connection with us. Now, you can take this the woo-woo way, which I tend to love, and imagine there's an energetic cord of light that connects us, or you can take it more of a brain science way and notice that when you think of the actions of a person in your past or even your present, and you have an emotional response, you're connected to them. You're allowing them to rent some space in your brain. So if you think of that ex and you're like, like I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm so, or I'm feeling bad because I did this thing that I wish I hadn't done. Or if you think of someone in a business relationship and you think, oh, I'm never going to trust somebody like that again, never going to take that client again, and you feel it in your body and the emotions load up, then you know that you're still connected to them. Now, this is great for people that we love. I have a little exercise I sometimes teach where we stand in the middle of all those who have ever loved us, and we do this imaginatively, and we breathe out expansion and bring in love. And it actually feels amazing because we're doing this all the time. The exercise is simply reminding us of to consciously use it and let us relax a little bit. But if we're doing this, if we're standing in the middle of a circle of haters and past bad relationships and painful memories, all the people who've hurt us, you can imagine that what you're breathing in is pretty toxic, right? Breathing in, fear, toxic, danger. So some of you may want to release some of those past relationships, cut that cord, and have a different experience. We call this release forgiveness. Now, it's really clear that we're not saying that in any sense that what somebody has done is right or we condone their actions. This is more in a sense that you're going to no longer let that person control you. Oprah says forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could have been any different. It's accepting the past for what it is and using the moment and this time to help yourself move forward. That's really what we're doing. We call this forgiveness, release, letting go. You definitely want to gather the information, the wisdom you got from that experience, and you're going to see this in the exercise that I teach in just a moment. But just know this is a form of letting go for you. So let's do a little release here. Okay, so put aside anything that you're holding right now. You can just release, put your hands to your side or lay back, whatever's most comfortable for you, and just let yourself arrive in this moment. And you're going to breathe. Whenever we breathe and connect into that flow of love and energy, just that sense that every breath we breathe in, we're connected to all life. We share this breath that moves through all of us. Whenever we remember this, it becomes easier to do anything. So in this exercise, I'm going to encourage you to pick one person. And you can come back to this exercise and you can run through person after person. Just do one at a time to start. And I'd suggest for your first time, you start with somebody who wasn't your worst relationship. Just get comfortable with the exercise and then move deeper and deeper as you go. So imagine the person that you were in relationship with that you would like to release. And chances are, as you imagine them, they're standing behind you as if they're in your past where the relationship was. And if they are, go ahead and imagine yourself turning towards them so you can see them. Stand facing them in your full power. Notice any connection that still exists between you. A flow of anger, of sadness, of guilt, shame, resentment, disappointment, whatever the experience is. And there's also likely still to be some love, compassion, some kindness that flows. And if there is, simply acknowledge that. And if you'd like to do this, you can simply imagine a cord of light between the two of you. Give it a color, and notice what that flow between you looks like. So it'll just be a little easier for our imagination to notice that, moving back and forth. And then allow yourself to acknowledge whatever you learned in this relationship, even if it was you didn't want to be in a relationship like this again. Acknowledge the learnings about yourself, the world, about what it means to be in a relationship, and receive any wisdom that you haven't harvested from this place yet. And now let yourself acknowledge that any experience you continue to have of this person is completely up to you. Now, if someone is still physically in your life, like a former partner you had a child with, this won't apply in the same way. This is really for people who are no longer in your life. So for those folks, notice that in order to keep experiencing whatever emotion you're experiencing, you have to keep energetically receiving it from them. So imagine that you can simply give back to them whatever you've been choosing to hold of theirs. Perhaps their anger. And you may simply say, "This is your anger, it's no longer helpful for me to carry it." Or, "This is your sadness, it's yours to carry." Literally imagine holding that experience, whatever it is that is theirs that you would like to release, and handing it back to them. You can give this experience a color or shape. And notice if they're unwilling to take it, simply lay it at their feet. It's theirs to take when they're ready. And you can notice here if there's anything else you want to return to them. Perhaps there's another emotion that comes up or another experience you'd like them to have that's theirs and not yours to carry anymore. And if that's the case, simply return whatever else you'd like to them until you feel completely clean and clear. And then imagine bowing to them, hands fully at your side, and offering them a blessing. May you experience everything that you would like in this life. May you be happy and well. It's okay if the blessing is difficult at first. If it is, you can simply bless their soul or the eternal part of them. But don't skip this step. If you're unwilling or unable to bless them, you're still holding on to the experience of them. So if you have a hard time with this, go back to the step before and just notice what else you'd like to release back to them. Now, if you choose, you may actually release them. And some of you may discover, especially if you were the one that caused pain in the relationship, that you would like to continue to be connected to the love and kindness of this person. If that's the case, simply thank them for the love they've offered and turn back to facing the future. But if you want to release them, imagine breaking that energetic cord between you. You can cut it, you can dissolve it, release it like the end of a balloon string, whatever works best for you. And you can declare, "I release you from my life, from my heart, and from my mind. Be well." I release you from my life, from my heart, from my mind. Be well. And when you're ready, turn back to the future. being in the present moment, and noticing the sense of peace and spaciousness that comes from this release. Noticing the new space that's now available to receive. And when you're ready, return to the room and go about your day with this renewed sense of spaciousness and peace.